Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're starting out back as we make our way down towards Sedona. We had a lot of plans to spend a few days in Sedona. We made our way through town and eventually out to BLM land, but unfortunately, there was nowhere to camp. Many know in the past few years that they've really cracked down on camping in these areas just due to a lot of environmental concerns, and so we were left with sunset approaching and nowhere to camp. And while they did have places that were designated to camp, let's just say that most of it was packed like sardines. And to be quite honest, if I'm spending a few days here, this is not the type of environment I want to be in. I'd like to be a little bit off to myself, so we made the decision ultimately to cut our losses and move on. We found ourselves at a Cracker Barrel in Prescott. And then the next morning we awoke and headed on down to Phoenix, where we grabbed a hotel for the next 2 days. So while not camping exactly, it was still a nice time of relaxation, and Vinny obviously did not complain. Having a hotel gave us many options to explore the Phoenix area, so for some of this video, we're going to go through the botanical garden, which was an absolute delight. And besides just coming here to walk through a lot of the flora and a lot of the foliage here, we also wanted to check out a couple different things such as native gardening practices, seeing as we plan on moving not exactly into this zone per se, but just the desert environment overall. We're originally from Ohio, so obviously there's a lot of different gardening and agricultural practices out here that vary quite differently from season to season. So we got a chance to just kind of walk and look at everything that can kind of grow here well and get some great ideas for our future planning. One really big idea that I enjoyed was the shade cloth that you can retract back per the season. I thought that was absolutely brilliant, and I plan to incorporate that in our own garden. A little bit of a surprise here at the Botanical Garden is that they actually had a Dia de los Muertos ofrenda display going on for the community, and it was just such a great thing to kind of stumble across. They had so many wonderful little figurines. They had little tags that you could write a message to your departed loved ones on and leave it behind any of the installation that was here. It was really impressive, and I thought this was such a treat to kind of stumble upon and get to go around and just kind of see how this holiday is celebrated. After checking out that community exhibit, we decided to continue on around some of the outdoor trails, now taking us into the more native gardening practices. They had a very old traditional garden, which was great to see. Some Three Sisters in practices, but also these grid, or what we also call waffle style gardening, in which there are basins. The plants are planted into those basins, and it helps retain a lot of water when the monsoons come. Another great one was this acatillo fence. Just a lot of inspiration just from old traditional practices. This is an old Apache style hut created just out of a lot of, I'm assuming mesquite branches, maybe not, but a very unique and interesting idea for sure. And we met some colorful little friends along the way. I was just completely enamored with these little parakeets. And next to my surprise, they actually had an art exhibition going on for Fernando Botero, who is from Colombia. A lot of people know him for his kind of oversized figures and portraits. So it was really a treat to bump into this, being an art lover myself. So I was kind of glad we picked this time to check out the botanical garden. It was such a great treat. But with that, we wrapped up our day at the botanical garden and decided to head on back into Phoenix. And that's all I have for you this time, my friends. Thanks for watching and take care. We've got some exciting videos coming up next, so stay tuned.